Yo. I've been really going down the rabbit hole with this whole AI thing and using Claude Code. I've created, I thought, I originally thought it was a mixture of experts, but I learned later that a mixture of experts, that's actually built into the model. So that would be like DeepSeek, um, which I don't have. I've been using Claude Code instead. But what I did find out is with Claude Code, you typically just have your primary agent, but you can go beyond that and you can spawn sub agents into their own contexts. But what I learned last night is you can also then create a team of agents who communicate with each other and they all report back to your top agent. So I ran out of tokens last night, but I just keep running out of tokens. I've just come to terms with that. So right now for today, over the next 4 hours and 30 minutes, I got this much left. And I've used 80% of my weekly limits. And yeah, I've already spent money on like I just you could go so broke with this. That's why I'm token broke. Anyway, but I just decided this morning because I had to put it to rest. I don't know what state, if I left it in a good state. I think I did. But it should determine if it needs to spawn up sub agents or set up a team on its own. So what I'm going to do, here's a bunch of test labs on Portswigger, which typically uses Burp Suite, which I've got running in the background if it needs to call it. And I'm going to tell it to go and choose, you know what? I'm going to tell it to go and pick 3 random labs and solve them. And let's just see how it does if I don't run out of tokens. I have opened up the labs website for you, Playwright. Um, choose 3 unsolved labs. Um, choose 3 unsolved labs and solve them. Should be that easy. That I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. I can see the categories, but need to find the individual labs. Let me extract. God, I hate these things. I love these things. It's these wrappers I hate. Okay. Yeah, right there. Large MCP response. So just by browsing, it's chewing up. Okay, so it chose one here. So it picked 3: OS command injection, DOM cross-site scripting, and Angular JS, and information disclosure and error message. So there. So it's got its 3 tasks. I'm just curious if it's going to do them one at a time. I think it is. I don't even think it's spinning up sub. Well, I guess technically Playwright is a subagent. Oh, always low. I have to figure out how to. That was Burp Suite because it's directly accessing Burp Suite. Burp Suite keeps asking me for permission, and it would be nice to not have to click that frickin' button every time. I was kind of hoping that it was going to show. I was kind of hoping it was going to do all 3. I could have said do all 3 at once. Yeah, 6%. OS command injection. Well, solved. So there's one. And these are typically pretty easy for this thing. Like if I went through and tried to solve these, I might, I don't know, I'd probably be good enough to get 10% of them. I, maybe, I don't know. It's, what is also very cool, what I have set it up to do is when it completes any of these, like if it either discovers something new or unique, or it solves one of these labs, it goes and it writes it to its knowledge base, just so that later it can always reference, like, oh, maybe this is something that would work. But yeah, like this is just chewing up all my tokens, all my precious tokens. I do want to go and look at DeepSeek though. I get so what mixture of experts is, and that's where I was confused. Multi-agent is different than a team of agents, which is definitely that's a totally separate thing from mixture of experts. What mixture of experts is let's say you have like a 800 billion parameter model. If it's not mixture of experts, if you ask a generic question like who's Albert Einstein, it fires up the entire model, like the all 800 billion parameters are hit, which just burns up your tokens. Lab 2 done already. Um, but with mixture of experts, if I say who is Albert Einstein, it literally finds just the parameters that are related to Albert Einstein and it only fires those up. Is a very basic way that I understand it. Yeah, there it is. Yes, always allow. Okay, well, this is working fine. I should not have chewed up all my tokens on these easy labs. In fact, you know what? You know what? I'm just going to tell this to stop. We're going to quit that. And I'm going to use up the rest of my tokens today. I'm going to use the rest of my tokens up. On what model am I using? Yeah, I really want to use Opus. Opus, as it says, is the most capable for complex work, but that will burn through my tokens so fast. You know what? Let's just try it. Let's see if open. I want to see if I can solve one of these more difficult ones with what I have left in my token account. And that would be on Hack the Box. Sure. Capture the flag. Oh, I can never remember how to get to the freaking start learning the academy. There we go. And labs. So what's different about these is they actually spin up a box that you can SSH into or open up a browser or connect to a database. It's not just simple. Let's see here. Where do I got labs? Pro labs. Um, Multi-step attacks and privilege escalation. All right, I like this. Those are all very easy. Yeah, this is the starting place. Oh, here's what I want to challenges, and I will set it to medium. If I had unlimited tokens, I would set this, well, I would try something more difficult, but what's one we haven't done yet? So these are the user ratings of difficulty, mobile, crypto, quantum, web. Sure, let's see what it is. That's the alleys. Oh, I don't like how you don't mark like that. Okay. Started the target host. Download the files and solve the lab. Use your agents as you see fit. See what happens. So I could do, I could have downloaded the files for it. I could have let it start the target host, but it literally chews up tokens just opening up a web page and reading it, and that chews up tokens like needlessly. So it just downloaded the file. Oh, there's my polite warning. Mhm. I just wanted to solve this before this runs out. And that means I'm out of tokens for another 5 hours, 4 hours, and 13 minutes. I hope it spins up some extra agents here. Yeah, the more I play with this, the more the think endpoint works on the default vhost. I need to find the secret alley to access Guardian. Let me check the build script and try some approaches. So it really doesn't seem to be spinning up any agents. Well, okay, but it's using the burp tool. Yeah, the more I use this, the more I realize, first of all, how much I don't know. Got the flag. Let's submit it. Yeah, and it'll even submit it for me. Well, that was too easy. Oh, that was too easy for it. Okay, I'll give it a hard one. Where's all my labs here? Yeah, so now it's gonna, so it tells you the attack chain, how it did it, and then it's writing it to lessons learned. All right, let's give it a hard one. I've not solved a hard one with this. I don't even know if I've tried yet. Mm, Reversing. I haven't gotten to do reversing with my I haven't really played with any reversing challenges. So all reversing is, if you don't know, is basically if you're given a binary file, like an executable or an ELF or something, and you have to figure out what it does. Or like it'll be like it's got a secret password in it, but you have to find the password or whatever. You know what? Let's yeah, let's try it. Why not? Now, how many tokens do I have left though? All right, whatever. I'll stop whining about it. Let's do this flag next. Um, no target to open, just the file to download. My friend is always tampering with low level things, so created something different than going to challenge him. Before I challenge him, can you try and see if it works or not? I bet you this is right up this thing's alley. If okay, if I were betting, if I were a betting guy, what is it, 11:51? I'm gonna say it does it in, I'll say 5 minutes. So less than 5 minutes. So if once that reaches 11:56, where does it download these to? All right, what are you doing? See, like each one of these is Playwright reading the website. Like that's just so much token. You know what I should do? I should tell it. I should tell it once it reads Playwright stuff. Like it should run a tool on it first to actually search through all the text because I think it's taking all. This is like all the page structure, and I think it's sending that off to the model. Whereas it should be smart enough to, the model should be smart enough that it can be like, hey, I can just run this tool to get the information I need, and then it just would have that little piece. Hmm, things to do. Oof. Playwright, concise. I have no idea what it's doing. It's definitely chewing up tokens. It took it that long to figure out it should disassemble the binary. Cook binary is the interpreter, and recipe.asm is the program it runs. So it runs an assembly program. Instructions observed. Pepe Frog. So it needs to reverse the cook interpreter to understand the instruction set, then decode what the assembly does. So there's an interpreter for this assembly language program that has just fake made up instructions. It has to figure out how the interpreter works so it can actually run the code. Okay, I understand. So the code isn't assembled, it's a made up language, and it has to figure out what from the executable, it has to figure out when it compiles this made up language, what does that made up language program do? Yep, I lost a bet. So it has to really be able to think outside of the box here because let's actually go look at these files while we're waiting. Execution. So cook is the program, and then here's the quote unquote assembly. Yeah, grind protein, vegetable. Yeah, Pepe frog, protein, carbo. Hmm. This is interesting because this is a fake language and it needs to figure out what the hell it would do. So like boil might be add, carbo might be a register, protein might be a register, dairy and vegetable. Vegetables are all registers. Oh, reverse subagent. Okay, cool. So what this did here for me, protein equals memory IMM. What? Oh, yeah, I told you 6 registers, carbo, protein, vegetable, and then dairy. I said we fruit and meat. I I called it. I did call it. I said there were registers. So program logic. So to solve the challenge, the byte permutation applied to the input must be reversed and applied to the expected string. Oh, it's already got. Oh, to recover the original flag. U10 delete whatever. Nutrition, sorry, maybe whatever. Pepe frog to compare the permuted. Okay. Anyway, what I was so happy about was it called a reverse subagent. So a subagent is when it's like, I don't need to spin up an entire team for this. So, but it's like I do have a special task that I can send off to this guy. And what it does is that subagent has its own context because when you start running out of context, like in one session, the AI starts to forget and it starts to hallucinate stuff. This is a way that it prevents that. That subagent doesn't have all this blah, blah, blah. Like it doesn't have all this like open up the browser bullshit. It's given only what it needs to be able to reverse this. So how am I looking? 66%. We might not even make it. Let me write a solver to reverse. Now I understand the full thing. Spell zero reads, inputs it off. So it's actually testing the binary with what it thinks it should do. Confirmed. That's so sick. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. That's crazy. And here, I'll just show you really quick. So basically, here's all my different agents that I've made. Now again, it's yeah, I get it. What it is I'm using multiple different AIs to create these agents and learn how to create an agent. Like so for example, here's the reverse sub agent that I called. And this is all that's in there for instructions. But here's the full reverse agent. And you're telling it like you're a teammate, and before starting, you gotta know who to talk to for your different teammates. Like it's very interesting, and it's all in the Markdown, but it's in more or less English. And all of those agents also have skills. So for skills, I might have here's my where is it? There's Playwright for my browser. Wireshark. So this is for no, where are you? Burp Suite. There you are. This one gets used a lot. Oof. And this tells it how to use the MCP. Anyway, whatever. You get the idea. That shit's awesome. Later.